Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for Saturday Morning Blast Off. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, there's actually surprisingly quite a bit of news this week. I was surprised, and I'm gonna let some people trickle in since it seems like only one person's here right now, and we'll see if there's any more people that show up here in a little bit. So let me take care of some business first. Hey, Feisty, your news. I? Uh, what happened? Did I do something wrong, or uh, now I'm worried about this because I haven't seen anything. I've been busy this morning. Let me take care of some business first. And if you like what you see, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, you're going to see the very end of this video, a video pop up here. Basically, what YouTube does, takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible. One of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up there just for you. Up here, it's going to be Star Wars, The Clone Wars is what's going to be up there. Yeah. Oh, that's what's going on, Feisty. Okay, I see. It's not a wake and bake situation. What's going on? If you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you can hit the bell down below there. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at my weekly schedule up there. I have my live stream schedule up there. Also, I have all the links to my social media. So that's Twitter, Instagram, Patreon. No tiers set up on the Patreon as of yet. Waiting until I hit 1,000 subscribers. Hint, hint, hint. So, that schedule is also up on my Facebook page. And speaking of Facebook, there's a Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and talk amongst yourselves. All right. So let's see. Like I said, there's still a few people kind of trickling in here. Let's do this one. This one sounds interesting. According to Jonathan Frakes, season 3 of The Orville, which is only going to be on Hulu, by the way, is only going to be directed by Seth MacFarlane and John Caesar, Cesar. So however you want to say it. And that's it. He has had a big falling out, Seth MacFarlane, with the people at Disney because I don't think they really like him all that much. And since they bought Fox, he has been relegated to smaller and smaller things that have been happening. Hey, damn straight. Yeah, and Stanley. I will not watch this stream. It will just be another rant against the patriarchy. I am not a 12-year-old girl. Oh, man. Yeah, if you're not knowing what we're referencing, it's last night's Harley Quinn, which was fucking phenomenal. It really was. Who really does like Seth? Exactly. Who does like Seth? He had a lot of bridges at Fox, and all those bridges got burned for him because all those people got fired with the Disney reorg of Fox when they took over. And yeah, that's why he is over on Hulu. What is it? FX on Hulu, I think is what it is, where Orville season 3 is supposed to be. I don't know what's going on with Family Guy or anything like that. So yeah, he is don't take away my wrench, but I love you. That's fine, Penn. I mean, like I said, you guys, we all have differences of opinion. I like shit that no one else does too. So, I mean, I know a lot of people like the Orville. Not saying that not everyone likes the Orville. So there you go. Yeah, I get people in the comment section all the time. Well, you said this and whatever, man. Don't take shit so literally. That's all. Life's too short to take shit literally. So Penn, I've watched Family Guy. It was funny, and there's some funny stuff in it. There's some stuff that you're like, oh my god, what the fuck? But yeah, that's he's very hit and miss with his humor for me. That's all I can say. And he is I think he's on his way out over at Fox. So, well, Disney now, and I've been hearing stuff that rumors anyway that he's supposed to be moving someplace else. Damn Straight says, I'm upset today. I was going through Walking Dead Maker's interview, and they said that there will be no cure made for the zombie sickness in the show because that will make the show boring. Yeah. There shouldn't be any cure for that at all. So, hey, Apple Crow. Your internet seems like crap today. You sure it's not just me? I'm only kidding. That's I love doing that actually. American Dad is way funnier than Family. You know, Keith, I watched American Dad. I liked it for a while, and then I was just like, yeah. It's like most of his stuff. It gets repetitive after a while, and I just stopped watching. It just wasn't funny anymore. You know, yeah. Stanley Trail says same as in real life. Yeah. Yes, there is no cure for the zombie apocalypse that we have going on right now. So let me get to one of the main things here since we got some people in the room. Universal Pictures stated last week that because Trolls World Tour, which is also known as Trolls 2, was released on video on demand and did what was it? They got something like 150 million dollars in just 3 weeks, which was better than the first Troll movie. It did phenomenally well to the point where they said they're considering that when everything, reopens again, that they are going to do video on demand releases after an appropriate time of movies in the theater. So AMC took this to mean that they are going to do this in spite, they're going to have their movies in the theaters and on VOD at the same time. That was not the case. That's not what Universal said. So AMC decided to say, you know what, Universal, we're not going to show any of your movies anymore, is what they said when we open up. And then the next day, Regal Cinemas decided to join them in and go, you know what, Universal, we're not going to show your movies either. So that's why Universal had to come back and said, that's not what we said, assholes. We said that we're going to put it out on VOD after an appropriate time in the theater, and then we will put it out on VOD. So, yeah. So what does this mean? Actually, it just means that this video on demand, bringing first run movies straight over to streaming on TV, on people's, home systems and stuff like that, is starting to become a more viable thing. And in 5 years from now, if not sooner, it's probably going to take over from movie theaters, and movie theaters are already on the decline. I go into my local Regal Cinemas, which is close by here, and that movie theater chain is a piece of shit. I'm sorry, the theater that I go into, it's got, I mean, every theater that I've gone to, with the exception, no, even the exception of ArcLight. ArcLight's supposed to be the hoity-toity kind of theater. They're all kind of run down, and you see the people that are working there just really don't want to be there. And you can see theaters are on decline. They really are. And it's not that it's not that ticket prices have gone down. It's just that theaters aren't getting a good share of that ticket price, if any of that ticket price anymore, and they're relying mostly on their concessions. So of course they're cutting back on staff. It's an age-old problem. This has been going on for decades now. And yeah, this is just going to hasten it a little further. That's all it is. So I'm okay with that, to tell you the truth. That's a little bit of, was that Jack Daniels? Maybe. Stanley Trio says, but it was a special situation with the pandemic. In normal times, PVOD would not make the same amount of money. True. Exactly, Stanley Tweedle. Although it was, yeah, there wasn't much on. So parents probably finally relented and paid the $20 in order to shut their kids up. I mean, to make their little house. I mean, to appease their, to entertain their children while they were sheltered in place. I made the mistake of buying Bloodshot for $20. There you go. So Mork says the only reason I go to theaters when either movies I really want to see or take the family out. A normal movie outing is over $60 now, and I can go to better places for that amount. Exactly, Morks. You can wait 3 months for that movie to come out on DVD for, what is it, $20, $30, and that's still half the price of what you're gonna pay in the theater for you. For me, um, I go to the cheap theater for 10 bucks and I'll go and see it, and that's for movies I really wanna see. There's some movies I'm just like, I can wait on that. I made the mistake of seeing, Harley Quinn, the Birds of Prey, or whatever it's called this now, the Emancipation of the Hyenas, or I don't know what it was, but and I saw it for $10. Was it worth $10? Possibly. So yeah. Do I like the Zombieland movie series? Yeah, the Zombieland movie series was good. I saw the second one in the theater, and I was like, I could have waited for that one to come out on um, DVD or cable or something like that. Apple Crow says, as soon as I learned I could wait for movies, I've been to the theater once this year and maybe 2 to 3 times last year. Yeah, exactly it. And the thing is, people are getting better and better home theater systems for cheaper and cheaper. You have 4K TVs. We also have 8K TVs that are out now. They're really fucking expensive, but they're out there. You have stuff being streamed in 4K, especially in Amazon. We have increased data streams. We have plenty of ways of streaming this stuff now or watching it. And we have good surround sound systems and all that kind of stuff you can get at home. And you don't need to go into a theater where you're going to have some moron most likely pulling out his phone and trying to snap a picture of the fucking screen with a flash on, which has happened to me before. I wasn't the one who did it. I'm saying there was an asshole in the theater that did this. And but yeah, you get this disruptive experience. Now, granted, there's also a shared experience of a movie as well. But right now, with what we're experiencing with COVID-19, are people really going to want to be around other people to share the experience of a movie? Are you going to want to put yourself at risk, possible risk, just to see a movie? I'm going to say no on that one. Um, I mean, like I said, I've said it before in previous podcasts. I wanted to go to New York City Comic Con this year, which is in October. I just got an email saying that they're getting ready to do badges and all that stuff, and I'm like, fuck no, I'm not going there. You guys had 800 fucking deaths per day at one point. Yeah, 4 times what was normal for New York City. I'm not going there, especially if there's going to be a rebound of this. Ah, thank you, damn straight. Yes, that's. Apple Crow says I'm playing Animal Crossing on a 10-foot screen right now while watching Dennis on my 40-inch. Oh, nice. Remind me why I should deal with talking people and sticky floors. Yeah, and shitty stale popcorn. Well, now they actually have. The theaters are getting smart. Well, too little, too late, honestly. Where they're offering food, like real food. They're offering drinks where you can bring in alcohol into the theaters now, things like that. And yeah, it's just a little too late. And yeah, people answering phones and yeah, just stuff that ruins the movie going experience. So I'm all for Universal going the digital route and streaming stuff. Yeah, that's perfectly fine because I know even if I wait on that, you're going to drop the price on your digital streams as well to what is it, $10? After a couple of months. So it's not like I really have to pay that $20 that first time out the gate, unless I really, really, really want to see it, and then I better get something for it. Like, unfortunately, like Bloodshot. Hey, Viking bitch. All right. So, in all of this stuff that we've had going on, season 5 of The Expanse actually finished filming before the shutdown. That's right. They finished filming before the shutdown. So, what does that mean? It means they're in post production right now. They are going to be working on post production, and because you don't need to have a bunch of people in there doing post production, you can do that by yourselves. And most likely, we'll see a season 5 of The Expanse come out, by the end of this year. So I've been reading a lot of different things. Stuff has been pushed back, movies, things like that. Obviously, you can't do big budget movies anymore. But what about TV shows? How are you going to film TV shows when you can't be in the same location? So the BBC is actually getting a little bit creative with uh, their TV schedule, and they're proposing to have cast and crews shelter in place together. So basically, you end up having the actors in these small amount of crew stay together in the same locations. That way, they can film a TV series, and also if there's any kind of breakout of COVID-19 or anything like that, these people can, of course, know who was around them and all that stuff and stop production right then. But basically, that means the closed set. No one comes in, no one leaves. And, 2 minute or one man leaves, not going to happen. That's what they're proposing at this point. So that also means you're going to have to increase pay. You're going to have production costs that are going to increase. It is, yeah, British Broadcasting Company, Marks, not the other thing. Yeah. And I don't know if that's a good idea, to tell you the truth. I mean, on one hand, I could see why it makes sense, but at the other hand, I'm like, is it really worth it to do that? I mean, you got other people that are trying to do they're filming their sequences by themselves at home, and then I guess they're going to composite this shit together. I don't know if that's actually going to work, to tell you the truth. I don't think it will, but what are you going to do? I'm all for just, waiting, putting it on hiatus. Yes, we are going to have a gap, kind of like what we had with the writer's strike back in the 90s. But still, Jimmy One says, have you ever thought of putting your picture or graphics of what you're talking about on top of your screen? Yeah, I thought about that, Jimmy One, but it's kind of hard to do with the way YouTube has shit set up. So, and I'm doing this live, so it's kind of hard to do that at the same time. So I would love to, because I don't even know if they do that now. If they have, yeah, I'm not even going to bother fucking with that, because if I do, it's something bad's going to happen. Stanley Twill says, I heard that the Westworld people did their ADR from home, recording inside the car. Yeah. That's a lot of stuff that's been going on right now. And it's going to present some problems, because everyone's talking about that this could last anywhere from a year to 2 years. I'm saying most likely 2 years. You think a vaccine takes about a year to come into being, another 6 to 8 months to disperse out to people. So you're looking at 2 years there, pretty much, of what's going on in order to get a vaccine, a viable vaccine out there. And that's if you can find one quickly enough. So, yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a gap in entertainment. That what that means is people are going to have to start going into the back catalogs of stuff and start watching it if they want to start watching stuff. And that's what people do already. There's plenty of shit around you that you can watch in the back catalogs. Yeah. All right. So, speaking of shit, no, I'm kidding. A live action Goosebumps series, TV series, is in the works. No word yet on whether or not it's going to any kind of network or anything like that. It's just that it's in the works. And yeah, I was not part of that age group that Goosebumps was geared towards when it came out in the 90s. I was too old for that. And I know there's a lot of people here that watch my stream that are in that age group that remember it fondly and love it. So, yeah. Penn says, I have so much to watch on my to watch list. Yes, exactly. I don't, believe it or not. Well, then again, I have been rewatching The Prisoner slowly but surely, and fits and starts, and that's easy enough to do. I am watching Upload right now on Amazon Prime. and it's funny and also dark at the same time, I have to admit. So Applecrow says we need a new Adventures of Pete and Pete where they are grown up and dealing with adult crap. I guess that's Goosebumps. I don't know. Yeah. Yep. Be seeing you. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's The Prisoner. And that's how all the people, when they're, on the island, when they leave, or the village, I should say, when they are, saying their goodbyes, they say, be seeing you. And they do it that way. It's just a weird thing, but it's fun. Doom Patrol Season 2. Unfortunately, their production was shuttered by the shutdown. So we're most likely going to get a pushback on their season premiere. I'm not happy about it, but at the same time, I want them all to be safe because I want more episodes of that series. That series is kick-ass. And quite honestly, we already know that DC Universe most likely is not going to be around once HBO Max comes out. And by the way, HBO Max comes out this month, the end of this month. And I don't think DC Universe is going to be alive much beyond that. So, yeah. A Viking Bitch says, this time should be a time to appreciate what we have. We all are making sacrifices, but no one should put themselves at risk. Exactly. Yeah. Apple Crow says, the Nick show from around the same time, maybe earlier than Goosebumps. Oh, okay. I didn't know. Again, Apple Crow. That is beyond my age group. At that point, I was older than that age group that it was hitting, and I wasn't watching that stuff. So, yeah. Aren't we all number twos? I'm not number two. You calling me a bag of shit? Exactly, Jimmy One. By hook or by crook, you will. I am a man. I am not a number. Oh, God. The Prisoner is just good stuff. And it resonates with today's stuff, too, that we've got going on. It really does. If you haven't watched it, it's on Amazon Prime. It is 60s acting. I'll warn you right now, but it's also 60s acting, and it's got some really good stuff in it. It's got some very theatrical stuff that you can sink your teeth into. And yes, we need a gigantic white peach. Fuck yeah, that would be awesome, Stanley Tweedle. If people actually knew what that series was, I would do that here in Southern California, where I'd have a big white ball come up out of the water. And if I can get some electronics in it, some remote control, a little white ball, and chasing people down the beach, that would be fucking hilarious. Especially in the beaches that are supposed to be closed here in Southern California. There's only a few that are closed. Did you know that fans chased Patrick around to ask him about the really? Yeah, I remember that. I remember hearing about that. Yeah. Because he never did. Well, they kind of did do a bastardized ending in the comics. And I think it was with Patrick's blessing, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Yeah, the ending was insane. I vaguely remember it. That's why I'm rewatching it, because I vaguely remember the entire series. But I watched it when it came out on PBS when I was a kid. And yeah, I don't remember much of it from that. Viking Bitch says, I need to finish watching The Prisoner on my computer. I tried watching on my tablet, but the music gave me a headache. I need better sound. Yeah. That music, by the way, has found its way into recent commercials too. I think Apple's been using it, and I can't remember who else. But the dun 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 dun, and with the little electronic thing going on, that's actually from The Prisoner. And I was kind of surprised by that. Because I remember hearing it, and I'm like, that sounds really fucking familiar. Where did I hear that? And then I started watching The Prisoner on Amazon Prime there, and I was like, oh yeah, that's where I heard it. Yeah. Yeah, I know Chris Nolan was trying to work on something there, and it fell through for him. Yeah. Stanley Trail said, I never saw the series, only reviews of it on YouTube. You should watch it, Stanley. Give it a go. See what you think. It's really kind of twisted and wacky. It's a good time, especially if you're sheltering in place and you've run out of stuff to watch. Totally off topic. Did anyone get Blade Runner vibes from the Clone Wars soundtrack last episode? No, I didn't. Mm-mm. I did not. So what else we have going on here? Oh yeah. So there was a rumor that went out about a month ago from some sites that shall not be mentioned because they're clickbait sites, and I don't want to give them any more attention. But basically, they were saying that Charlie Cox was going to be playing Mac Murdock in Spider-Man 3, whatever the Spider-Man 3 title is going to be, and he was going to play Daredevil as well in it. And Charlie Cox has said, "Nope, I am not in that movie. As far as I know, Matt Murdock is not in that movie. Stop bothering me about it." Kind of thing. He has nothing to do with Marvel at the moment. And even though I know that I've heard that Fahey actually likes him and wants him to bring him in. Spider-Man 3 Close to Homecoming? No. No. Yeah. Wow, you still haven't watched Harley Quinn from last night and Clone Wars, Apple Crow? Well, you should do that because on Monday is the season finale of Clone Wars, the season and series finale, because Monday is May the 4th. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Saw a photo meme of him in the mask doing errands. Nice. Very nice. Exactly. Kick out that Fanobi troll. What's he supposed to be doing here? I thought he was at work. Someone's hacked his account. All right. Let's see. Oh, actually, just saw this morning. A new GI Joe movie is in the works from Paramount and Hasbro. God, again? Come on. So they have a standalone Snake Eyes movie, which is coming out in October now, is what it's coming out. And I guess Paramount and Hasbro want to do another take of the GI Joe movie. So hopefully they actually are going to take it seriously this time and not play it for laughs and do fucking keep Damon Wayans away from that shit. I mean, or whatever, Marlon Wayans, whoever one of the Wayans kids that was in it that fucked up that first movie. We don't need comic relief in it. Honestly, we really don't. Although you should have a fucking PSA at the end, in mid credits or something like that. That's one thing you need to have. Definitely is a PSA. Whoever does this thing. So, Spider-Man Close to Coming. Yes, I said Homecoming. Movie Homecoming. Yeah, don't listen. Yes, John Wick has been postponed as well because they haven't written the script yet. John Wick 4, they haven't even written the script yet for that movie, Fanobi. So of course it's been pushed to 2022. I'm okay with that. Yeah. The more you know. No. And now you know is what it is, Stanley Tweedle. And now you know, and knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I do that at work, and people just look at me and shake their heads and walk away. Is Halle Berry going to force her way onto this one too? John Wick 4? Well, hopefully her character's dead, but maybe not. We don't know. Space Jam 2 is now officially titled Space Jam: A New Legacy, according to LeBron James's Instagram account. Does anyone really care about a second Space Jam or Space Jam in general or the NBA for that matter? It's just some guys with a ball running back and forth across the court and occasionally making baskets because that's really fucking boring. And to add, Warner Brothers characters to it too, Looney Tunes characters. I remember the first one when it came out with Michael Jordan, and I was like, "What is this?" And I think I tried watching 5 minutes of it, and it was so fucking bad I turned it off. I know kids of the era in the '90s really loved it, but I think that was it. Yeah. Isn't there a basketball documentary series on is there? Does anyone care about that either? Stanley Trail says, "Sorry, I'm literally too old for that shit." Space Jam, yeah, I agree with you. It's Warner Brothers trying to resurrect from the dead old archived crap that doesn't need to be archived, instead of making new shit that is everywhere around me here. Yeah, make some fucking new shit for a change. There's plenty of stuff out there. I mean, honestly, when I was going through the news, I saw, everything's a sequel now. It's this number 2, the remake of this number 5. Um, but there is some new stuff that's coming out. Like there's a movie from Seth Rogen, which is going to HBO Max, and it also stars Seth Rogen in a dual role. It's called An American Pickle, and it's about an immigrant in 1920s America who comes over to the new country, into the America, and he's working at his job in a pickle factory, and he accidentally falls into a pickle brine and stays there for 100 years. And he emerges in 2020 and meets his grandson, who's also played by Seth Rogen. And his grandson is a coding programmer. And of course, he doesn't understand his grandson whatsoever, and hijinks ensue from there. I'm going to see it because, one, it sounds like a stoner comedy. Two, it involves time travel of a sort. And three, it's going to be fish out of water. So it should be kind of a funny story. Although it's Seth Rogen, playing against Seth Rogen. Oh, that could be bad. Yeah. Did he really get stoned and forget he watched Pickle Rick? Probably. Well, Pickle Rick is something else altogether. That's not what this is. Although Dan Harmon did get stoned and forget that he had watched Lucy, Daughter of the Devil, and is now trying to make a new animated series, pretty much based on that, only with a younger Lucy. Now, for those of you who don't know what Lucy, Daughter of the Devil is, that was an animated series that was on Adult Swim back in 2007, I believe. And she's literally Lucy, Daughter of the Devil, and the devil keeps trying to, make her the queen of hell kind of thing. But she is dating Jesus, who's a DJ. And it's really funny, by the way. The animation's horrible because it's, the first use of kind of computer animation on that scene, if you will. And but this new one that Dan Harmon's working on is supposedly going to be a woman who has a baby, and the baby, of course, is from the devil, and he wants to try and raise her as queen of hell, kind of thing. Yeah. So there you go. What is the science behind waking up from 100 years of being pickled? I don't know. You're wrinkly. You're a little bit salty. Is that what it is? Maybe that's it. If that's the case, I've been pickled for a while. uh, uh, Sony. Sony has now named their Marvel line of movies as the Sony Pictures Universe of Marvel Characters, or SPUMC for short. Yeah, Sony Pictures Universe of Marvel Characters. Yeah. I can almost guarantee you that is from Amy Pascal and Avery Arid on that one. And yeah, I'm glitching a little bit. I see that too. Glitch, 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 glitch. There we go. It's starting to clear up now. Oh man, but yeah, seriously, this is them trying to come up with an acronym kind of like the DCEU or the MCU or something like that, so that people can so you can have fans that glom onto it. I don't know. Yeah. Spunk, really? Yeah, it's called Spunk. Spunk. SPUMC. Yeah. And of course, if you add an O to it, it becomes Spumco, which is John Krikfalski, the guy who did Ren and Stimpy. That's the name of his company, is Spumco Inc. Yeah, which is the makers of Log by Blammo. Yeah. Spunk is what it's called. Spunk. I wish I could make this shit up, but I'm not. I'm just actually just telling you guys what I'm seeing in the news because it's horrible. Yeah. What else do I have here? Oh, for those of you who care, episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, is going to be on Disney Plus on Monday, May the 4th. Excuse me. This will be the first time, that the entire Disney series is going to be all in one place. Or excuse me, the entire Star Wars series. Freudian slip on that one. Is all going to be in one location. I don't know if anyone really cares about that, but I certainly don't. Although I did apply for a some website out there is going to pay someone $1,000 to watch all of the Star Wars series in line, along with, I believe, the Han Solo story. What was it? The one where they find the plans to the Death Star. I can never remember what it's called. That one's in there as well, and then the entire season of The Mandalorian. So it's all going to be in chronological order. That's what it's supposed to be. And you get $1,000, and you need to do it in 4 days. Rogue One. There we go. Rogue One. There. I remember now. Yeah. Yes, even the original. Not the original cut of the original trilogy. See, I prefer the original theatrical version to Star Wars, which I do have on DVD down here. I don't like the special edition. I refuse to watch the special edition, but for $1,000, sure, I'll do it. McClunky. Yes, the McClunky edition as well. Yes. That is what, yeah, what is it? There's like 5 different versions now of the original trilogy out there. Something like that, or 8, or I don't know. There's still not as many as the Blade Runner cuts. I mean, there's like 19 version of the Blade Runner cuts out there right now. They might have grown since then. They do multiply if you leave them in a cabinet by themselves. And I agree with you, Keith. Han did shoot first. Yeah. That's to show you how much of a rogue he actually was. I have the despecialized editions. I hear they're working on 4K trans. Yeah, they've been talking about working on that 4K transfer now for a while of the original theatrical releases, Apple Crow. I heard about that when Disney was first taking over Lucasfilm. That had always been the rumor, but I don't know if that's going to actually materialize or ever happen. So, yeah, kind of like this stream, it just keeps skipping here and there. Oh, God. You people in your YouTube porn. Get off my stream. Oh, man. So speaking of Disney, they're also going to do a live action remake of Hercules, like they've been doing with all of their animated series or animated movies. But this one is actually going to be produced by the Russo brothers. They're not going to be directing, they're not going to be writing or anything like that. They're just producing. That's all they're doing. Yeah. And I'm like, do you really need it? And if you're going to do it, are you actually going to do Hercules' real story? Or are you going to do this cleaned up, nice version? Because Hercules was kind of an asshole. So were the gods. The Greek gods are really kind of assholes as well. And I don't know if they're going to do it that way. They're going to do it the kid friendly version, of course, because it's Disney. So, excuse me. But that is in the works as well. I don't know. Let's see here. Speaking of stuff I don't know about, and I'm not sure about, the final seasons. If I could speak, the final season of Agents of Shield is starting on May 27th, which happens to be the same day that HBO Max launches. I can wait on watching Agents of Shield. Its final season, which is actually season 6 split in half, by the way. So remember, they had their episode count truncated by half in the middle of filming season 6. So really what they did was they filmed all of season 6 and then cut it in half and made it season 6 and season 7. Hey, Cordell. So yeah, I don't know if anyone's still watching that show at all. So it goes back in time. They've gone back in time now at this point, and they're supposed to run into Peggy Carter at some point in time. And I guess now their mission is to save Hydra. That Hydra needs to be saved in order to save the future for whatever reason. So there you go. Unfortunately, I'll be there. I've watched all the rest. Yeah, I'll be watching it too. I'll catch it at some point in time. Usually, what I've been doing is I just binge watch. Whenever it all comes up, and then I will start skipping ahead. I'll start fast forwarding through shit, and go, yeah, I don't need this. Nah, I don't need to watch that. Oh, okay. And then I start finding that I just watch the very beginning of an episode and the very end of an episode, and I'm like, okay, I've caught up on everything. You would like to see Ward for the final season? I thought he was dead. So, yeah. All right. What else do we have here? Oh yeah, I found this interesting. I saw a trailer for this. I posted it up on the Facebook page. May 22nd, which is this month, the second season of Homecoming hits Amazon Prime. I liked the first season of Homecoming. I really did. And I'm looking forward to the second season of it as well. So for those of you who don't know what Homecoming is, Sam Esmail, who did Mr. Robot, among other things, he did another series called Homecoming on Amazon Prime. And it's based off of a podcast, a popular podcast. The first season had Julia Roberts in it and Bobby Cannavale. Really good stuff. And now it's an entirely different cast, but still based on the same stuff. There's only one cast member who's returned from season 1 to tie it all together. And that is, it's fairly interesting. It's about the veterans returning home from the Middle East conflict and all that, and they may or may not have had some stuff done to their minds. We don't know for sure. Yeah. Yep, I did answer your question, Stanley Tweedle. Death is not an issue in Shield. Yeah. Well, Coulson's coming back as a live model decoy. He is not. He's dead. Yeah, Phil Coulson in the Agents of Shield universe is dead, but the live model decoy of him is not. That's how they're bringing the actor back. Yeah, nobody in Marvel ever dies. You know this, especially if you're an X-Men. You just keep coming back multiple times. On HBO in August, we got a teaser trailer for Lovecraft Country. Lovecraft Country, of course, is based on a book. Actually, I believe it's a book series set in the Jim Crow South and melded with Lovecraftian creatures. And the first trailer looks bonkers for the most part. Just from the creatures that they had. They didn't go practical effects on it. They went digital effects on it. I'm fine with that. And I am kind of liking it. I want to see what that's going to be. I may even cover it because of the nature of it. And it just looks good. It looks like it's going to be some fun. Yes, there is going to be a lot of racism in it because, again, it's set in the Jim Crow South. And that is part of the novel of because the characters are African American and having to deal with the people at the time down in the South. So yes, it does sound a bit like True Blood come trend. That's what people are saying, but I believe it's going to be a little bit different than that. Yeah, it's from the writer of the WGN Underground, exactly. Before it got bought out by I can't remember what company bought them out. So, Demons and Wonders, Cordell Fenable says there are lots of things. There are some creatures that look decidedly horrifying, shall we say. Yeah. Is that a musical genre? Are you talking about Lovecraft Country? No. I saw some True Blood influence also. Okay. Yeah. I haven't read the novels. I wanted to. I keep thinking about it and I forget about it. And then I think it's in my Kindle book want list or something like that, or queue or whatever. Yeah. Oh, got it. Demons and Wonders is your favorite Lovecraft book. I've got some Lovecraft stuff up. You can't see it up here, but it's at the very top up here as my entire stream just kind of right there. So I said I have some Lovecraft stuff up above me here. You can't see it. There's a shelf right there. And there's some stuff up there. Hey, Philip, you taking off? All right. So what else do we have? Is this my last bit of news? I think it is my last bit of news that I have here. There is a movie that is in the works that's going to be starring Karen Gillan and Aaron Paul, and it's called Duel. It's about a terminally ill woman who has herself cloned, and this is to ease her ease the bereavement of her family and her friends. But the woman makes a miraculous recovery from whatever terminal illness is. And basically, the courts tell her that she will have to fight her clone in a duel to the death in an arena. That's what the movie is about. And I was like, I kind of blinked at a minute when I was looking at it. I'm like, huh, okay. I can see that. I'll definitely, that's definitely something I'm interested in now. Yeah. Even though I'm not a big Aaron Paul fan at all. But if it's Karen Gillan, sure. Yes, a duel to the death. That's right. And whoever wins gets to live on as that person. And yes, that Robbie Amell series has started. It's called Upload. Cordell Venerable says, I didn't hear you talking about it, but I personally left The Expanse after the second episode and lost interest. It's a TV show that I was loving. Does it get better? Should I insist? Yeah, it's good, Cordell. I liked it. I liked The Expanse. Yeah. And Upload right now is actually pretty good. If you stick with Upload, I believe I'm on episode 5 right now is where I'm at. By episode 3, you start getting another storyline that comes in. It's not another storyline, it's for the same character, but there's another wrinkle that comes up about why he's in the situation that he's in. That's all I can say. Yeah. Joe, it's in there. I'm not gonna go retread over stuff. You can watch this again when it's a video. So yeah. Yeah. So that is pretty much all I've got in my. Yes, that's all I've got right now in my news queue. What about you guys? What are you guys watching, reading, playing, whatnot? Is everyone playing Animal Crossing or something like that? I don't have Nintendo stuff, so. And besides that, I'm also not a teenager either, so I'm not playing Animal Crossing. Like I said, I finished Jedi Fallen Order, and it was pretty short, I have to admit. Yeah. And I'm probably going to go back and start doing Assassin's Creed Odyssey again, or Spider-Man. I can't know. I can't decide which one. Depends on what kind of time I've got. And also, I'm in the process of redoing this thing, or actually, I should say, moving this whole thing over into the bedroom. So right now, I'm in the living room, and then on the other side of the wall is the bedroom. That's how that's going to go. Yeah. I moved on to Persona 5 and Star Wars, The Old Republic. Oh, okay. Yeah, I never finished Star Wars, The Old Republic. I really didn't. I rarely finish any games, quite honestly. I lose interest and then I just kind of filter off on that. But that's par for the course, really. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's coming out that I'm looking forward to. Well, I mean, there's the Looney Tunes cartoons that's coming out on HBO Max. I'm looking forward to. Um, they still haven't said when the Green Lantern series, if that was ever in production at the time before the shutdown happened or not. That's coming out on HBO Max. I know Stargirl is supposed to be coming out on both DC Universe and CW, and that's actually next week. Is that right? May the 12th, or I think, or May the 14th, something like that. I think it's May 12th, which is a Tuesday. Yeah, or the 14th. I can't remember which one it is. So, Stanley Twill says, I'm playing Gears Tactics currently. Okay. I don't know what that is. Yeah. But yeah, and I don't know really what else is coming out, to tell you the truth. I think they've changed up so much scheduling now. It's going to be tough for me, as a matter of fact, doing this kind of stuff. I might have to start retreading old material, old TV shows and movies and things like that. But yeah, because you see by the news is just like, well, this is in production, but it's shut down. Well, this was in production, but that's shut down. Well, this is partially done, but it's shut down. They're planning on doing this when everything reopens. And yeah, that's pretty much the nature of the news that I've been doling out recently. But I wouldn't have it any other way. I don't want people going back in and getting sick. It's just not worth it, quite honestly. Right now, New Mexico, from what I understand, is having huge spikes in that small little town where the mayor decided to thumb his nose at the governor. And yeah, now they're having huge spikes going on of people getting sick. And of course, it's overwhelming their hospital there. Stranger Things could be an issue. The actors grow fast. I think they already finished filming, if I'm not mistaken, Stanley. Yeah, I think they already finished filming their, what was it, 5th season? That's what it was. So I think that's all in post-production now. So that should be okay. And a lot of that's indoors. So I can see them filming that you don't have the kids running around outside and all that stuff. They used to in the first season. They had them riding their bikes and stuff via like ET and all that. But the last couple of seasons have been all indoors, whether it's been the mall or the cabin or the, you know, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I think we should be okay. Well, what else do I have going on this week? Well, Viking Mitch says I have some stuff to do, so I'm off. I'm getting ready to leave myself. So what else do I have going on? Tomorrow is the season finale of Westworld. Monday is going to be May the 4th. That means Star Wars, the Clone Wars, the season finale, and the series finale is going to play out there. Don't miss that because, there's also a giveaway that's going on for that. That's right. There's a light side gift, which I just showed you, and a dark side gift is what's going on. Check out the schedule. Exactly. Tuesday is going to be Future Man. Wednesday is going to be Is It Worth My Time? Picard. And Thursday I'm off. Friday is going to be Harley Quinn. And then we wrap it all back around again to Saturday morning blast off. What will you do with all the free time? What you mean by Thursday, Stanley Tweedle? I'll do laundry and other stuff I need to do. Plus, I have some arts and crafts stuff I need to work on as well. I'm working on some of my own projects. So, like this project that just is behind me here that never got completed, I need to finish that. That's not the final form, by the way. That's just a placeholder, and also it gets rid of that white space behind my head. But I am working on something to replace this for when the new thing happens there. Penny Dreadful, City of Angels. Yeah, I really don't want Showtime, to tell you the truth, Stanley. And I don't know about this second season. It just doesn't feel good, to tell you the truth. Cordell Fennerell says new animated series Bubbles, developed by Rogan, is in the works. Oh, okay. No Clone Wars, no Westworld, no Elsewhere. Yeah, I have some stuff for Is It Worth My Time? So they say you can see Rise of Skywalker on May the 4th. It's the extended cut that fixes everything. Funny, Philip. So basically it's been remade completely, is what you're saying? Yeah. Yeah, there's some stuff out there. There will be some stuff out there. Not a lot, but there'll be some stuff. I'll find some stuff. If anything, I can always go back over The Prisoner and some other stuff as well. But yeah, I may have to branch out a little bit too. Who knows? It's a trying time for all of us in the entertainment world, I guess you can say. I am not convinced after the first episode of City of Angels. You mean you're not liking it, or you're not convinced of what I said about it? Yeah, one series is not enough for me to subscribe to Showtime. I can't do it. I really can't. Showtime just doesn't have anything to grab me. HBO does, especially now they're moving over to HBO Max, and they're going to be keeping the price the same, and they're going to add more content to it. I'm happy with that. Now, if Showtime was to do something like that, or they were going to increase their content, it depends on what the content is, quite honestly. You're not liking it, Cordell. Okay, got it. Ray Donovan. Yeah, I watched the first season of Ray Donovan when it first came out, because I think I had Showtime for some reason at that point. And I think I started the second season. I was like, I don't care about this. Yeah. Stanley says it's not gripping me, and the Mexican mythology is unknown to me. That is different compared to the first series. Okay. I actually like when So I had a thought, an idea, like way back when I started delving into different countries' mythologies and things like that, and seeing what I could use. And I guess that's what they're doing, of course, for this for Penny Dreadful. Yes, it's not an original idea of going to other countries' mythologies and cherry picking and stuff like that, but you never really see the full mythology of a country's mythos done well or done completely. There's always some kind of embellishment that's done to it to make it more cinematic or to make it more exciting. Because let's be frank, this was stuff that's usually a couple thousand years old, and it was exciting for people back then, or huddle around a campfire, or a tavern or something like that. But for those of us jaded fucks that have been watching CGI decapitations and playing video games and all that kind of stuff, it's not that exciting anymore. So it's kind of hard to get people interested in that without taking some embellishment of those mythologies. And that's kind of what sucks. I mean, Hercules, like I talked about earlier, that's one of the prime examples right there, where you have a really interesting mythology, but you have it puts Hercules in a completely unlikable light than what what mainstream audiences think of. I mean, this man killed his entire family, and then he was kind of a dick afterwards, even then. So, granted, he was tricked into killing his entire family. He actually had poison put in his ear and all of that, but he was kind of a dick before that and a dick after that. And the gods aren't any better on that one. Yeah. Well, yeah, Stanley Twill, that's what Penny Dreadful was. It was supposed to be kind of like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen without using League of Extraordinary Gentlemen's stuff, shall we say. I would like to see Warner Brothers actually do a good job of that, doing that series. Or I can't remember who owns Wanted. Remember James McAvoy was with Angelina Jolie in that movie Wanted, along with Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman. And that movie was based on a comic book, and that movie was absolutely fucking horrible. You're right, Stanley. And the reason why is because they didn't follow the comic. Now, if they followed the comic, which would have gotten them sued most likely, because it took all of like DC and Marvel comics and made characters of them at that point. And yes, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen was also awful as well. And again, that's because they didn't do what the comic did. Stop changing the premise of the book. If the book is popular, there's a reason why the book is popular. If you can't make it, then don't make it. Yeah. That's what I look at it as. If you can't set it all up where you can get the rights to all those characters to use them as they're done in the book, then don't do it. Frankly, just don't do it. Kind of like Damon Lindelof's version of Watchmen on HBO. Oof. Wow, what a shitty version. Yeah. Oof. I'm surprised Alan Moore didn't put a curse on him. He probably did. Damon Lindelof's probably sitting at home, as a goat-footed jackalope or something like that right now, from whatever pagan spell that Alan Moore put on him. Applecrow says both of those get pretty dark in the comics, and there's no way they could. Applecrow, I think it's time for stuff like that, though. I know they get really fucking dark in those comics, and quite honestly, I know people look at comic book movies as for kids and all that shit the same way they look at animation for kids. People need to grow up on that. They really do. Alan Moore was not involved in any of those adaptations, Stanley. He walked away from those. He disavowed himself of any of those things. So it's not his fault on any of that. He does not want live action adaptations of his books or animated adaptations of that matter. He is on record as saying that. Yeah, V for Vendetta was good, but even then, that was actually bastardized as well. There's a lot of stuff that was cut out of that book, but the movie still worked. Yeah. Apple Crow says, "Oh, and I watched that movie, more of that Galaxy Quest documentary. Viking Mitch and Lindelof is on screen basically every time they talk about how the fandom would react." Oh, yeah, yeah. All right. Really, I'm going to let you guys go now. Thank you, everybody who joined me today in the chat. Thank you if you made it this far in the video. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look up here at the video that pops up here at the end. If you like it, hit the subscribe button. Also up here at the very end is going to be Star Wars The Clone Wars. It's going to pop up there for you. If you want to know when I'm going live again next, hit the bell. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the live stream schedule up there. And all the links to my social media are up there as well. So until tomorrow for Westworld, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may wind up seeing your production halted because, of course, everyone's in quarantine right now. Thanks, everybody. I will see you tomorrow for Westworld. Stay safe. Have fun doing whatever you're doing. Learn some new stuff and take up some new hobbies. I will see you tomorrow. Until then, have a good one.